Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Sarah. Sarah grew up with a mother who was often emotionally distant and unavailable. Her mother would work long hours and spend her free time socializing with her friends, leaving Sarah feeling alone and neglected. As Sarah grew older, she struggled with forming close relationships with others. She felt like she couldn't trust anyone to be there for her, and she was always worried that people would leave her. This fear became so strong that it affected her ability to form healthy relationships with friends and romantic partners. One day, Sarah decided to seek help from a therapist. During their sessions, she discovered that she was struggling with an abandonment wound. Her childhood experiences had left her feeling like she was unworthy of love and attention, and she had developed a deep-seated fear of being left alone. Through therapy, Sarah was able to work through her abandonment wound and learn how to form healthy relationships with others. She learned how to recognize her own worth and to trust others to be there for her. While the wound may never fully heal, Sarah was able to find peace and happiness in her life by facing her fears and learning to love herself. This story illustrates how an abandonment wound can affect someone's life, leading to difficulties in forming relationships and trusting others. It also shows how seeking help from a therapist can be a powerful tool for healing and overcoming these wounds. By facing our fears and learning to love ourselves, we can find happiness and fulfillment in our relationships and our lives. Abandonment wound is a term used to describe the emotional pain or fear that can arise from feeling rejected, left alone, or disconnected from others. It often stems from experiences in childhood, such as losing a parent, feeling neglected or unwanted, or being separated from a loved one. Some examples of abandonment wound might include: if you're a child whose parents got divorced, you might feel like one or both of your parents have abandoned you. You may feel scared, sad, or angry and struggle with forming relationships in the future due to a fear of being left again. If you've been in a long-term relationship that suddenly ended, you might feel abandoned by your partner. This experience can make it hard for you to trust future partners or form new relationships. If you grew up with a parent who was emotionally distant, you may feel like you were never fully seen or accepted by them. This could cause you to have low self-esteem, fear of rejection, and difficulty forming close relationships. If you were adopted as a child and never met your birth parents, you might feel like you were abandoned by them, even if the adoption was a positive experience. This could cause feelings of loss, sadness, and disconnection from your cultural and familial roots. When you experience situations like these, you may develop an abandonment wound that can impact your life in significant ways. The wound creates a constant fear of being left alone, rejected, or disconnected from others. You might start feeling like you are not worthy of love and can have trouble forming and maintaining healthy relationships. Ignoring this wound can lead to low self-esteem, self-doubt, and a lack of confidence in relationships. It's crucial to acknowledge and address these wounds so that you can start healing and move forward in life. Abandonment wounds can have a significant impact on a child's sense of safety, trust, and self-worth. When a child experiences abandonment, whether it's through a parent leaving, divorce, or even a perceived emotional distance from a parent, it can leave them feeling alone, scared, and unloved. This can lead to a deep-seated fear of being rejected or abandoned again, which can affect their ability to form close relationships and establish a sense of safety and trust in the world around them. In addition, the lack of emotional connection with a parent or caregiver can lead to a weakened sense of self. Children need validation and acceptance from their parents to develop a strong sense of self, and when they don't receive it, they may struggle with feelings of inadequacy or low self-esteem. This can have a long-term impact on their ability to navigate relationships and establish healthy boundaries. Abandonment wounds can be deeply ingrained in a child's sense of self and their ability to trust and connect with others. It's important to address these wounds and work to heal them in order to establish a stronger sense of self-worth and the ability to form healthy relationships. What might happen if you don't heal your abandonment wound? You might struggle to form intimate relationships, feeling like you can't trust others and always keeping people at arm's length. You may become overly dependent on others, seeking constant reassurance and validation in order to feel secure. You might struggle to express your emotions or communicate effectively, leading to misunderstandings and conflicts in your relationships. You might engage in self-sabotaging behaviors, such as pushing people away or avoiding new opportunities, because of a fear of being abandoned or rejected. You may struggle with feelings of depression, anxiety, or low self-worth, which can impact your overall well-being and quality of life. What are some roadblocks to healing? Recognizing an abandonment wound in oneself can be challenging because it is often deeply ingrained in one's subconscious mind. People who have an abandonment wound may not even realize that their fear of rejection, being left alone, or disconnected from others is rooted in past experiences of abandonment. Additionally, some individuals may have normalized their patterns of behavior, making it difficult to recognize that their actions are influenced by an abandonment wound. For example, someone who frequently pushes others away or avoids getting too close to people may see it as a personal preference rather than a result of their fear of abandonment. Furthermore, the fear of being vulnerable and exposing oneself emotionally can also make it challenging to recognize an abandonment wound. People with abandonment wounds may have developed coping mechanisms that allow them to avoid confronting their past experiences and associated emotions. This avoidance can result in an inability to recognize how past abandonment affects their current behavior and relationships. Recognizing an abandonment wound in oneself requires a willingness to reflect on past experiences, an openness to vulnerability, and the ability to connect past experiences with present behaviors and emotions. It may also require seeking the help of a therapist or counselor who can provide guidance and support in this process. Identify the abandonment wound. Look for patterns of behavior that suggest fear of abandonment, such as being overly clingy or avoiding close relationships altogether. Pay attention to emotions that arise in social situations and try to identify their root cause. Acknowledge the wound. Once you've identified the abandonment wound, acknowledge its presence in your life. This can be a difficult step, as it may involve confronting painful emotions and memories, but it's an important part of the healing process. Practice self-compassion. Be kind and gentle with yourself as you work through the healing process. Recognize that the wound was likely created in response to a painful situation and that it's not a reflection of your worth as a person. Seek professional help. Consider working with a therapist or counselor who has experience in treating abandonment wounds. They can provide guidance, support, and a safe space to explore difficult emotions. Practice self-care. Engage in activities that help you feel grounded and connected to your own needs, such as exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature. Prioritizing your own well-being can help you feel more secure and resilient in the face of future challenges. Practice forgiveness. Work towards forgiving those who may have caused the wound, as well as forgiving yourself for any self-blame or guilt. Work on building healthy relationships. As you heal from the abandonment wound, focus on building healthy relationships with others. This may involve learning new communication skills, setting healthy boundaries, and practicing vulnerability and trust. Keep a growth mindset. Understand that healing is a journey and progress may not always be linear. Embrace a growth mindset and keep moving forward, even if it means taking small steps. Remember that healing from an abandonment wound is a process that takes time and effort. But with persistence and dedication, it's possible to move beyond the pain and build a fulfilling, satisfying life. By taking steps to heal our abandonment wounds, we can improve our self-esteem, form healthier relationships, and live a more fulfilling life. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more content on self-improvement and personal growth. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.